श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। सर्ववेदान्तसिद्धान्तगोचरं तमगोचरं गोविन्दं परमानन्दं सद्गुरुं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्। I think we saw the 377th shloka in the last patha. वैराग्यान्न परम सुखस्य जनकम पश्यामि वश्यात्मनः तच्चेत् शुद्धतर आत्मबोध सहितं स्वाराज्य साम्राज्य धुक् एतद्द्वारम् अजस्रं मुक्तिवते हे यस्मात् त्वं तस्मात् परम सर्वत्र अस्पृहया सदात्मनि सदा प्रज्ञां कुरु श्रेयसे. So what was said in 377 shloka? Just to recap, that there is nothing which can give more happiness than vairagya. Craving for something, the desire blocks the swarupananda. Thereby a person thinks that the vishaya will give me sukha. The desire for a particular object, that takes away a person from one's own swarupa, and there is dukkha due to that. A person becomes a wanting person. That want takes a person away from one's own swarupa, thereby there is dukkhanubhava. But a person who does not want anything, that person has sukha, because that vairagya itself does not let the swarupa ananda go away. So this is what was said there in the Vairagyatna param sukham sukasya janakam pashyami. I don't see anything superior to Vairagya to generate sukha. And if that Vairagya is not mere Vairagya, due to anything, it is Viveka driven. If it is Viveka driven and along with Jnana, if it is along with Jnana, Shuddhatara Atma Bodha Sahitam Chet, then it will give you Swarajya. There will be no dependency on someone else or something else to fulfill your to fulfill anything. Basically, for fulfillment there is no dependency on anything or anyone. Thereby Swarajya, Swayameva Raja, one becomes one's own ruler. There is no dependency on any other ruler. And Samrajya Dhuk also, Samrajyam Dhukdhi, it will give, I think what was the tika on that? Just trying to look at the tika. So, no, there was a different, I think, yeah, Swarajya Samrajya Dhukdhi. So that Dhuk goes with both Swarajya and Samrajya. Swarajya and Samrajya is Dvandva and it's an Upapada Tatpurusha. Thereby Swarajya Samrajya Dhukdhi iti Swarajya Samrajya Dhuk. It will give sovereignty as well as overlordship. And this is the dwara. This is the dwara for what? For this Ajasra Mukti Yuvate. For Mukti, but not these Muktis which are with conditions, which are Anitya. This is for the Nitya Mukti. This is the Dwara, Jnana and Vairagya. We have seen it is a two-pronged approach. One cannot do without both being there. And thereby Sadatmani, Sat Atmani, that Sat Swarupa Atma, in that Swarupa Prajnam Kuru Shreyase. For Mukti, you practice Samadhi. This is the idea which was mentioned in the 377 shloka. Without any desire, so asprahaya, without any craving for anything else. And in continuation, the 378 shloka says, Asham chindi vishopameshu vishayeshveshaiva mrutyosrutihi tyaktva jati kulashrameshu yumatim munchati durat kriyaha dehadavasati त्यजात्मधिषणां प्रज्ञां कुरुष्वात्मनि त्वं द्रष्टास्य मलोऽसि निर्द्वय परब्रह्मासि यद् वस्तुतः. Sorry, I have fallen off the tune, so it will take a while before I come back to the tune. So I may be just reading the shlokas. Just give me a moment. Forgot to mute my phone. Okay. So Asham Chindi Vishopameshu. In fact, we can start from the other end. Vastuta. Vastuta, in reality, Tvam Drashtasi. You are just a witness actually. Drashta there in the sense of witness there, Sakshi. And Amalahasi, just like Surya is not tainted by whatever Surya lights up. Even all these daylight robberies also take place in the presence of the Surya. All the dirt on the road, the dust, everything is lit up by Surya. But Surya himself is not tainted. Just the way Surya is not tainted, similarly, you light up everything, being of the nature of consciousness, you light up everything, but you yourself are not tainted. So drashtasi amalasi, tvam, you are drashta and you are amalaha, yat, and yat vastuta, yat can be taken as an avyaya, meaning yasmat karanat. Since you are drashta, sakshi, untainted, and what are you? You are advaya, nirdvaya. Nirdvaya is advaya, non-dual parabrahma. You are nirdvaya parabrahma, asi, vastuta, in reality. Therefore what? All this is mithya. All this bondage itself is mithya. All this craving is mithya. Hankering after vishayas is mithya. Therefore vishayeshu, vishopameshu vishayeshu, asham chindi. Give up the desire, drop this desire, uproot the desire unto these vishayas, these objects of the prapancha, which are comparable to visha, to poison. So visha upameshu, those which have visha as their upama, as the comparison, unto those vishayas, because all these are going to poison your pursuit. They are going to poison your mind, and thereby the pursuit itself will get tainted, will get poisoned, and you may drop out of this human life pursuit. The Parama Purushartha, the reason for which we are born, that itself will be affected by this poison in the form of Vishaya. Therefore, Vishayeshu, Vishopameshu Vishayeshu, Asham Chindi, Esha eva Mrityo Srutihi. I have a typo here, Smritihi, that should be Srutihi. Sruti is Margaha. This itself is the path to Mrityu. Even a Jnani Sharira will die. But here Mrityu Sruti is that Margaha which will bring back a person to another Janma and another Mrityu, then yet another Janma, yet another Mrityu, thereby Samsarana will continue. Samsara will continue. That is called as Mrityu Sruti here. And this Esha Asha eva Mrityu Srutihi bhavati tyaktva jati kulashrameshu abhimati, identification, tadatmya sambandha that we have with what? Jati, that I was born in this kind of a family, and then as a Brahmana, as a Kshatriya, as a Vaishya, as a Shudra, all of these are indicative of Janma. Then particular family, one is Varna, Jati, and then there is Kula also, this kind of a Kula. I belong to this kind of a family, So people talk about their lineage, not only varna, lineage is also important for people. Therefore, it's a community, sense of community, belonging to a particular family. So kula and ashrama. Oh, I am a grihastha, I am a brahmachari. All these ashramas, and these are indicative. Any ego, any identification that a person has, that with a group of people or with a group, with a company also, with a profession, all these are identifications. So jati kulashrameshu abhimatin tyaktva, having given up identification with any thing that limits a person, durat kriyaha muncha, ati durat kriyaha muncha, give up the kriyas, all the karma. Once you have identification with any group, any jati, kula and ashrama, then there are duties or there are activities which are to be done to remain in that particular jati, kula, ashrama. There are prescriptions or there are community rules, social order, all this will come in, and then that will further bind a person. Otherwise, just having identification will itself bring in the qualities of the anatma to which one identifies oneself with. Those dharmas will come and bind the person, prod a person to give in to raga dvesha, and thereby kama and then karma, kriya. Karma or kriya, same meaning. So it will prod a person to act for some phala. That phala will create vasanas. Vasanas will lead to another janma and yet another janma. Then again kama, kriya, karma phala, or kama, karma, karma phala. Then again janma, again kama, kriya. So avidya continues, samsara continues. Therefore, what should one do? One should give up this association, identification, and thereby what the Guru tells the Shishya is asham chindi, then abhimatin tyaktva, with each of those words which are mentioned. Visheshu asham chindi, jati kula ashrameshu abhimatim tyaktva, kriyaha atidurat muncha. I'm sorry. So atidurat kriya muncha. Atidurat, from a distance itself, meaning not while doing something you draw, but then you give up wholesale. This is the idea here. And then dehado, asati dehado, this deha which is mithya, deha, then along with deha will come ahankara, mamakara. All of that is all the starting with deha on the outer side and ahankara in the end, that I am a karta bhokta. All this is a resultant of that, but deha itself is asat. Asat is mithya. So asati dehadau atmadishanam tyaja, give up this identification as this deha. So atidishanam has also similar shade of meaning as abhimati, but not exact. Atidishana. Sorry. So atidishana, give up this atidishana, and so we can say the earlier one abhimati as association and this as identification, or one as you can differentiate by using association and identification, these kind of words, but they have similar shades of meaning. Atmadishanam tyaja, as oneself, I take deha as oneself, that kind of an idea should be dropped, that kind of a dhi should be, buddhi should be dropped, and then atmani prajnam kuru, not only withdraw, not only vairagya, but atmajnana should be there, otherwise it will not lead to moksha. Similarly, atmajnana without vairagya will not lead to moksha, there is no jivan mukti. This is the entire section that we are seeing. Thereby atmani prajnam kurushva, tells the Guru to the Shishya, and we have seen the last pada, which is the hetu as to why one should do all this, because you are drashta amalaha nirdvaya parabrahma. Vishopameshu visheshu asham chindi tika esha eva asha eva mrityoho swarupat prachuti rupa pramadasya sritihi margaha. You should give up asha, desire, unto what? These vishayas, objects which are comparable to visha, poison. Esha eva, this asha itself, asha eva mrityoho, mrityoho srutihi marga. It is a marga for mrityu. What is that mrityu? It is this avidya krita mrityu swarupat prachuti rupa pramadasya margaha or srutihi, meaning it is the path to fall from your own swarupa, because shravana manana is done, nididhyasana is being practiced, and at that point of time you are trying to hold on to your swarupa, and you don't need to really hold on to the swarupa. Holding on to the swarupa is giving up any other non-swarupa. So swarupa prachiti rupa pramada, that negligence which is in the form of giving up this swarupa and taking something that you are not. For that, this is a marga. Therefore, that fall which leads to samsara, continues samsara, retains vasanas and even grows, that is called as mrityu here, and therefore mrityoho srutihi margaha. Jati kulashremeshu abhimatin tyaktva, having given up identification with all of these jati kula and ashrama, kriyaha, which are these kriyaha? Jatyadi nimittaha, because somebody is born, there is a jata karma, upanayana, all these, or celebration of life basically through responsibilities and whatever you get as a phala out of that. There are prescriptions as to what has to be followed, then there are social order, then a particular community will have their own festivities and own celebrations or duties to follow. Then there are social order as well. All this has come up from dharma shastras and then got diluted, or then others have got mixed in, but you give unto those and participate. Jatyadi nimittaha kriyaha, all these kriyas, because a person is born, then you belong to that kind of a community. There is an expectation. There is an expectation of birthday celebration, for example. If you don't celebrate birthday, you are kind of an odd person, odd man out, odd woman out. So jatyadi nimittaha ya kriyaha, all those kriyas which are to be done because you belong to a particular section or because you are a human being, simple, no other reason needed. Jatyadi nimitta ati durat muncha, give them up from a great distance, means don't even think about it, let them go. Asati mithya bhute, and having given up, what should you do? Asati mithya bhute dehado atma dishanam atma buddhim tyaja makarshi, that atma buddhi, that I am this particular person, I am this particular gender, I am this particular I have this particular the structure of this body has a particular structure, you own it up and you say that I am tall, I am thin, I am fat, or I am emotional, I am an emotional person. All these are ideas which belong to particular these koshas, not to Atma. They are not Atma dharma, they are kosha dharma. Having given those up, makarshi, so aham buddhim tyaja makarshi, do not hold on to this as aham, all these dehas, koshas. Yat yasmat karanatvam drashtasi, yat means yasmat karanat, we saw that, since you are a drashta, deha drishyasya, dehadehe drishyasya, all this which can be objectified, you are a drashta, you are an objectifier, you are not the object, thereby you are amala also, amala asi dehadehe samalatvat. All these dehas, koshas are along with their own mala, they are tainted by their own dharmas, own qualities, dharma meaning quality, gunas. By their own gunas they are tainted, but you are a drashta of the guna, you are the drashta of the dharma and the dharmi, the guna guni, but you yourself are not a guni, you do not have any guna, thereby you are untainted even when you objectify the tainted. Vastutah nirgatam dvayam yasmat nirdvayam advaitam tatcha tat parabrahma asi. So Karmadharaya is being explained there. Vastutah, in reality, Nirgatam Dvayam Yasmat, that is the construct of Nirdvayam, where all duality has gone away. From which all duality has gone away? Just a second. Sorry. So Nirdvayam finally meaning Advaya, same meaning Advaitam. Advaitam Taccha Tat Parabrahma. That Advaita itself is Parabrahma, and since you are that, Tasmad, therefore what? Atmani Brahmani Prajnam Aham Brahmasmi Iti Jnanam Kurushva. Hold on to this Prajna. And what is that Prajna? Prakarshajna. Prakarsajna is Aham Brahma, unto this Atma which is non-different from Brahma. Hold on to this fact that you are Brahma. Jnanam Kurushva Nirvikalpaka Samadhina Sampadaya. And finally the culmination is in Nirvikalpaka Samadhi, whereby all the vasanas would go and there would be no obstacles to this jnana. That is 378. 379 says, let me just see if I can recall the tune. Just give me a moment. Lakshe brahmani manasam drudataram samstapya bahyendriyam swasthane viniveshya nischalatanushchopekshya dehastitim brahmatmaikyamupetya tanmayataya chakhanda nisham Brahmanandarasam pibatmani muda shunyaih kimanyair brahmaih. So Lakshe Brahmani, this Brahma, even Brahma is not the meaning of the word Brahma. Atma Brahma, it's just Nama, and Nama Rupa are Mithya. Although through derivation we can show that Brahma is from Brihi Vriddho Dhatu and it is with Manin Pratyaya, it has no adjective Visheshana to limit itself, thereby that Vriddhi has the meaning of limitlessness. Thereby we can show the meaning, it is limitlessness. Even the Vyutpatyartha is limitless, infinity. But still, Brahma is not really the Vachyartha of the word Brahma. The Swarupa is not the Vachyartha of the word Brahma, it is the Lakshyartha. You have to drop away all the name and form Nama Rupa which are Mithya and land in Lakshya Brahma. So Lakshe Brahmani, it's a Lakshyartha. Lakshe Brahmani Manasam Dridataram Samstapya, having Manayeva Manasam. It would be Manayeva Manasam, there is a Swarthe and Pratyaya perhaps, and mind itself, Mana, is called as Manasa. Samstapya, having fixed, Dridataram, having fixed it firmly. What? The mind. Having fixed the mind firmly in Lakshya Brahma. And Lakshya Brahma will also tell you that it is not Saguna Brahma. Saguna Brahma would be some Ishta Devata, would be one of these, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, Narayana, all these avataras, Devi, Krishna, all of these are possible, but then they are only as upasanas. But when Nididhyasana is not upasana. Upasana is something which is prescribed for a particular phala. It gives you a particular phala. It is a prescribed meditation in a particular manner on a particular object. That object itself is Ishvara in various forms, whatever we prefer, but it has a phala associated. If you do that upasana and karma without any expectation of phala, then that will lead to Chitta Shuddhi. That Chitta Shuddhi leads to Jnana. It makes Jnana possible. But then we cannot hold on to that upasana as the ultimate, because it has been objectified. You can objectify it. Ishvara, Saguna Brahma has gunas, and gunas can be objectified. Nirguna cannot be objectified, which is the Tattva. So you have to land on Nirdvaya or Advaita Atma, which is Brahma, which is Nirguna, which is you, and you cannot objectify yourself. Thereby Lakshe Brahmani Manasam Dridataram Samstapya, having fixed your mind unto that. How? Since you can't objectify, how will the mind be fixed into that? Mind will finally be resolved into that. How do you fix it? As long as the mind along mind meaning the antakarana, which has a part of which is the one of the functions of it is buddhi, the intellect. You use this Mahavakya which has been taught by the Sampradaya and analyze it, do manana on that, and when that manana takes away the contrary attributes on both sides of the equation, so to say, you land on one tattva which is you, which is no longer being objectified, and the mind resolves into that. Then it will lead to samadhi. So dridataram संस्थाप्य मानसम लक्ष्ये ब्रह्मणि दृढ़तरम संस्थाप्य बाह्येन्द्रियम स्वस्थाने विनिवेश्य. And what is the process then? Bahyendriya. Bahyendriyam swasthane. How that resolution is going to work now? This Bahyendriya kriyas will have to stop. So they will be withdrawn unto their own sockets. The Indriyas are in the Golakas. So Indriyas will be withdrawn into their own Golakas, and then it is said as it's an instruction. Viniveshya. Having done so, Nischala Tanuhu. In the yoga process, Ashtanga yoga, there is asana, which is the third anga, and then pranayama. Asana is what? Sthira sukham asanam. The body should be sthira, steady, and it should be sukhena. Sukha there is adverbial as in easily placed. So it should be, asana is something which can be easily done. Not Shirsasana, or you try to stay in particular posture which is difficult to retain without causing pain. If there is pain, the body will drag the person to the level of the body. Whereas we are trying to withdraw ourselves from the body, dissociate from the body, and the body is trying to drag us back. Thereby it should be an asana which can be maintained steadily for a longer duration, but with ease. That is the idea, that is the definition of asana. All other asanas and pranayamas are towards this goal, so that you can stay longer in a posture without being disturbed by the surrounding, including your own body. Thereby Nischala Tanuhu, Tanu is body, without the body moving, cha Nischala Tanuscha Upekshya Deha Sthitim. Then what should one do? Deha Sthitim, this body should be retained in that manner, and then Deha Sthitim Upekshya, being unconcerned. Now you are not worried about the body, it is sthira, and then you are not really concerned about what happens to the body. In fact, the mind will create this kind of a doubt, it will try to create fear. Oh, if you don't focus on your breath, if you don't take care of body, it will wither away, which will take away a person from meditation. But here Nischala Tanucha Deha Sthitim Upekshya, Nischala Tanu, sun being Nischala Tanu, and Deha Sthitim Upekshya, without bothering about what will happen to the body, Brahmatmaikyam Upetya, then attaining this Brahmatma, attaining figuratively. You are already Brahma, and thereby Brahmatmaikyam Upetya, having understood that Brahmatmaikyam, staying as that Brahmatma, Tanmayataya cha akhanda vrittya anisham akhanda vrittya, through the akhandakara vritti, because now there is no khanda, there is no division, there is no triad, there is no karta, karma and kriya division, there is no bhokta, bhogya and bhojana kind of a division, bhoga kind of a division, but there is one singular Brahmatma which cannot be divided at all, which was never divided. Staying in that manner, through that akhandakara vritti now, Brahmananda rasam piba, Atmani Brahmananda rasa, Atma Swarupananda is this rasa, Brahmananda rasa, and you rejoice this, which is, where else is it? Atmani eva, nowhere else is it. Brahmananda rasam yad Atmani bhavati, tat piba, you partake of that ananda. It is not that you are going to, the goal is that It is automatic. Since there is no outward journey of the mind and it is all focused inward, what else will there be? The mind is completely blank from any of the shades of cravings. The desires have been dropped off. Then what remains in the mind is the Swarupa. It will completely shine forth like in a clean mirror. Thereby the Ananda Rasa is automatic. Piba Atmani Shunyehi Anyai Brahmaihi Shunyehi Muda Kim. What is there? Nothing to be done there. Actually Muda can go with, just give me a moment. Muda should go with Piba. So Muda Piba. So Muda can be kind of an adverbial sense. Brahmananda Rasam Mud. So Mud would be, I think, Kvibanta and Tritiya perhaps. So Atmani Brahmananda Rasam Muda Piba. Muda Piba. You rejoice this Ananda. That is the meaning along with Mud. There, Muda Piba. And then there is a Kaimutika Nyaya used. What is the use of anything else? You are searching for Ananda in all your pursuits, knowingly or unknowingly. You are searching for Ananda, which is your own Swarupa. Why would you go out and hanker for these, all these Vishayas which are Brahma, which are not going to give you any Sukha at all? Definitely not long lasting, and if you inquire into it, the Sukha does not belong to them. The Vishaya Sukha is really Swarupa Sukha, which manifests itself when the craving dies off. Thereby, Shunyehi Brahmaihi Anyaihi Shunyehi Brahmaihi Kim. They are as good as non-existent. These Brahmas, all these delusions are mere delusions. They are Shunya, they are non-existent. Their Satta is borrowed. They are not really existent. So what is the use of trying to search for Ananda through these objects? And in these objects there is nothing, therefore to stay with the Brahmananda, and thereby Brahmananda Rasam Atmani yad Brahmananda Rasam tat Muda Piba. Tika Prarabdham Pushyati Vapuhu iti nischitya dehasthiti tatposhanadau abhimanam upekshya tyaktva. Having given up abhimana, identification with the body. And what is this identification? He says abhimana, what is this? Tat poshanadau, trying to become healthier and healthier. There is nothing we don't consider anything wrong in trying to maintain the body, but trying to make it more and more healthy, more beautiful, and so that if people go to gym and then tone up their muscles, they retain their, I want to keep this kind of a waist, you retain your figure. All this is making the identification with the body dridha. You are trying to beautify something which is a Brahma, which is binding, and then indulgence in that will not let you stay away. As far as the body is maintained, it is fine. But trying to, maintain a figure and beautify it, that kind of a indulgence, that kind of an indulgence makes the binding firm. Whereas the pursuit is to disassociate from this and then retain the Atma Tattva which never goes away, and retain our thinking, our identification should remain with what we really are and not identify with something that we are not. Thereby tat poshanadau abhimanam, dehasthiti, and tat poshanadau is deha poshanadau abhimanam upeksha. Upeksha is tyaktva, having given up. How do you do that now? Nischitya, having ascertained. What do you ascertain? You should be very clear that the body will survive as long as there is prarabdha. We cannot do anything about it. We can pray, that's about it. Nothing more can be done. The body is taken care of by our prarabdha. That prarabdha may prod a person to act and then try to maintain it or ruin it, as the case may be. But even if you don't do it, it will get done on its own. This should be very clear to a Vedantin especially. Thereby prarabdham pushyati vapuhu. This was seen in the 288th shloka. In 288th shloka, Bhagavad Padacharya said, the prarabdha nourishes the body, it is not you. We try to feed it and then even overfeed it, thinking that, I need proteins, I need all this. Yes, all that is needed is fine, but then it will get done. Especially for a sadhaka, you should not be thinking more than sustaining the body. Thereby, prarabdham pushyati vapu iti nischitya deha sthiti tat poshanado abhimanam upeksha tyaktva, having given up, nischalatanuhu. Nischalastanu is sthira sukhamasanam iti yoga sutra anusarana nischala tanuhu yasya, one who holds a steady posture. That kind of person you should become. You should not think about the body anymore and then withdraw, then go on to the other angas of pratyahara ityadi and then dharana dhyana samadhi. Sukhasane upavishya, having taken a posture which easily comes to you. Bahyendriyam jnana karmendriya gramam swasthane swaswagolake viniveshya, having withdrawn the indriyas into their golakas. And then there are some shlokas quoted. Vivikta deshe cha sukhasanastah vivikta deshe cha sukhasanastah suchis samagriva shirah sharirah atyashramastas sakalendriyani nirudhya bhaktya swagurum pranamya hritpundarikam virajam vishuddham vichintya madhye vishadam vishokam acintyam avyaktam anantarupam shivam prashantam amrutam brahmayonim tadadi madhyanta vihinamekam vibhum chidanandam arupam adbhutam uma sahayam parameshwaram prabhum trilochanam neelakantham prashantam. So part of something is mentioned as to what the dhyana is like. Vivikta deshe cha sukhasanastah, staying in a place where there is not a lot of crowd, in a place of solitude. Suchihi, and there should be cleanliness. The place should be clean, you should be clean, all that is indicated by the word suchi. And then samagriva shirah shariraha, a person sitting in for dhyana should have a posture which is steady, and that is mentioned here where samagriva shirah shariraha. It should be, the spine should be erect, in the sense the back, the neck and the head should be in the same line, and we should hold on to that posture. In Tantra text, Kundalini also is talked about. The Kundalini will rise only then, and then there will be no block. The prana movement can happen easily. There are many reasons. Thereby, samagriva shirah shariraha atyashramastah, then not associating with any other, that we saw earlier in this jati kulashrameshu abhimatim tyaktva in the earlier shloka. Sakalendriyani nirudhya, having withdrawn all the indriyas, swagurum bhaktya pranamya, having bowed down to one's own guru with bhakti, with devotion. What should one do finally? Because you need blessings of Ishvara and the guru for the meditation also, that dhyana to succeed. Hritpundarikam virajam vishuddham vichintya, having focused on this Hritpundarika. Hritpundarika is basically it is the Atma Tattva, which is in the understood through buddhi, which is in the Hridaya Sthana, Antakarana. Madhye vishadam vishokam, and all this is free from grief. There is no, it is Sukha Swarupa. That kind of a Brahmatma is what our Swarupa is, which is Achintyam, which cannot be objectified. It is Avyaktam, it is unmanifest, and Anantarupam, it is that infinite Tattva which I am, and which is Shiva, which is auspicious, Prashantam, peaceful, Amrutam, immortal. It is that which will lead to immortality, because it itself is immortal. Having known our own Swarupa as immortal and dissociating with mortal body, we become immortal. Becoming meaning, we know that we are already immortal, that we erroneously consider ourselves as mortals, but then our Swarupa is immortality. Brahma Yonim Prashanta Bhutam. Brahma Yonim, it is that which is, so here Brahma Yonim can also be taken as Hiranyagarbha Yonim, which is a source for even Hiranyagarbha Saguna. This Nirguna Brahma is my Swarupa, and tad adi madhyanta vihinam ekam. It is one, Vibhu, all pervasive and without any beginning and end. It does not have any limits. It is beyond all the limitations of Kala, Desha and Vastu Parichhedas. Chidanandam Arupam Adbhutam. It is such a wonder. It is Arupam, still appears to have Rupa, and it is Chidananda, it is consciousness. It is that which makes insentient appear as though sentient. That Ananda is my Swarupa, and who is none other than this Parameshwara, Uma Sahayam, Parameshwara, who is said as Shiva in the Shastra, Saguna Brahma, but that Saguna is none other than Nirguna. Jiva is that limited form of the same Ishvara who rules over everyone. That Brahma, Parabrahma, Parameshwara I am, and Prabhum Trilochanam Neelakantam Prashantam. That kind of a Trilochanam Neelakantam. So in some shloka, the Ishvara is mentioned as Shiva. Elsewhere it would be as Narayana Vishnu. So here the Trilochanam Neelakantam Prashantam is this Saguna form of Shiva, who is Parameshwara and who is none other than me. Dhyatva, having meditated upon that kind of a tattva, Munihi Gacchati Bhutayonim Samasta Sakshim Tamasah Parastat iti Kaivalya Shrutehe. In Kaivalya Upanishad takes Shiva as Parameshwara, as Ishvara, and then explains this prakriya of landing onto Atma Tattva. Thereby Munihi Gacchati Bhutayonim Samasta Sakshim, he attains the source of all beings, which is Brahma, Nirguna Brahma, through Ishvara Saguna Brahma as a Jagat Karana Brahma, and then lands onto one's own Tattva with Aikya. Iti Kaivalya Shrutehe Lakshe Brahmani Manasam Dridataram Nishchalam Samstapya. Having placed one's mind unto that Brahma, which this Kaivalya Shruti also teaches through Aikya between Parameshwara and you as Jiva. Thereby Dridataram Samstapya. Lakshyartha, not in the Uma Sahayam Parameshwara as the Vachyartha. Vachyartha is Shiva, who has Trilochana, he has three eyes. Neelakanta, he has a dark neck, because he, as per the Purana Kathas, he drank the poison, and then Mata Parvati didn't allow that Visha to go within. He saved the Prapancha from that Visha which came from the Samudra Manthana, but then she held that, she forced it to remain in the neck and not go within and harm him. Thereby his neck holds that Neela. Neela is that poison which is dark. And he is Prashanta, he is always in yoga, always absorbed. Shiva is depicted as a yogi, not a yogi who is trying to pursue something. He is already an attained yogi. Attained because it is his own Swarupa. Thereby Lakshe Brahmani, the Lakshyartha of that Shiva, Parameshwara, is not that Neelakanta, Trilochana. All those are Upadhis. Having dropped those Upadhis, you land onto the Laksha, which is implied meaning of that creator, which is Satchidananda Brahma. And unto that Satchidananda Brahma you place the mind. Samsthapi Nishchalam. Dridataram is Nishchalam, it should not move. Brahmatmaikya Upetya, attaining that Brahmatmaikya through this inquiry into that Shiva and your own self, taking away the Upadhis and holding on to what is common with Bhagatyaga Lakshana or Jihadaja Lakshana. What should one do? What should you do? Says the Guru to the Shishya. Sakshat Krutya Anishancha Akhanda Vrittya Tanmayataya Brahma Rupataya Atmani Brahmanarasam Mudapibha. Continuously rejoice this Atma Sukha which is called as Brahmananda Rasa, Anisham, continuously. Shunye phalarahitaihi anarthadaischa anyaihi anatma vishayakaihi brahmaihi ayathartha jnanaihi kim. What is to be attained through all these vishayas, which are what? Brahmas. They are nothing but delusions, and they are shunya. Why are they shunya? Not the shunya the way the shunyavadi says, like Shashashrunga. They are shunya because phalarahita. They are not going to give you any phala which will lead to the moksha. Is the phala, real phala of all pursuits. Moksha is the phala. They are not going to give you any of that. And not only that, what kind of phala they will give you? They will give you bondage, more and more dridha bondage. Therefore, anarthadaischa, anartham dadati. They will give anartha, they will lead to all adversities. Therefore, phala rahitai means moksha phala rahita. Bereft of moksha as phala, but they have phala, which is adversity is the phala. All the evils are the phala. Anyaihi anatma vishayakaihi, which are all anatma, which are delusion, brahmai, ayathartha jnanaihi kim, which are not as they appear, they are not. Therefore, they are ayathartha. Through them, there is nothing to be attained, therefore, you give up. Karunatirekad Bhagavan Atmanishtam Muhuhu Upadishati Anatmeti. Now, this repetition is going endlessly, we think, but then we, as soon as we come to one shloka, we forget the earlier one. We forget, generally the tendency is to forget what has been taught. Vairagya, we don't practice it. Therefore, Karunatireka, due to that compassion being there, the Acharya, the Kavi here, Bhagavad Padacharya does not lose his patience. He says, I'll repeat it. I will teach you until you get it. Advaita Sampradaya holds the hand of the Shishya until you get it. The teaching is not just one time. It is on and on and on till the Shishya reaches the level of the Guru, thereby Karunatireka. Since there is the Atireka of Karuna, and why compassion is in excess, why is compassion is sufficient, but why excess? One, he keeps on holding on to us till we reach the other shore. And why Atireka, why is there additional compassion, is because although it is a Brahma, he knows it is a Brahma, we don't know it is a Brahma, but to actually come down to the level of Brahma and say, yes, I understand you see Satya there, but it is Brahma, and to participate in that Brahma activity by posing like a Guru, although he knows that he has no Sharira, he has no Deha, he has no Manaha, still trying to hold on to those for the sake of the Shishya, there is Atireka of Karuna. And Karuna Atirekad Bhagavan Atmanishtam Muhu Upadishati. Bhagavan is who? Bhagavan Bhagavad Padacharya, Shankaracharya, Atmanishtam Muhu Upadishati. And not only Shankaracharya here, but then in the story which is being narrated here, so to say, the Guru is telling the Shishya that Guru is also Bhagavan here, and Atmanishtam Muhu Upadishati. He teaches again. Muhu is Punaha. He teaches this Atmanishta. What is this Atmanishta? Don't get confused as to what Atmanishta is, and thereby he teaches in 380 Anatma Chintanam Tyaktva Kashmalam Dukkha Karanam Chintayatmananda Rupam Yanmukti Karanam. So Anatma Chintanam Tyaktva, having given up the Chintana, the as and when you do Chintana, you go outward from the Atma Tattva. Therefore, Anatma Chintana itself will lead to Kama to pop up. All these Vasanas will start fructifying if just Chintana is the Bija there. Therefore, Anatma Chintanam Tyaktva, having given that up and cutting asunder the Bija which will lead to Kama, Karma and Phala, Kashmalam Dukkha Karana. What is it? Dukkha Karana, Kashmala. It is that which is not Malarahita, it is Malasahita. So that Kashmalam Dukkha Karanam, it is that which will lead to sorrows, further deep and deeper sorrow even, because the samsara is Dukkha Rupa. There is more Dukkha, there is little Sukha, then there is more Dukkha. Even the Sukha that we experience is binding, therefore that Sukha is also Dukkha Rupa in the long run, because it takes us away from the पुरुषार्थ सिद्धि. Atmananda Rupam Chintaya, Atmananda Rupam Chintaya. Then what kind of Chintana should you do? If you give up this Anatma Chintana, you should think about this Ananda Rupa Atma. Atmananda Rupam Chintaya. Which is what? Yat Atmananda Rupam Tat Mukti Karanam Chintaya. Which is this Mukti Karana? Earlier is Dukkha Karana. Anatma Chintana is Dukkha Karana, so you give that up. And Atma Chintana is Atmananda Rupam is Mukti Karana. Therefore, you think about that. You inquire into that. That is the idea there. Stay with that. Finally, it should culminate in Aikya and Advaita Tattva. Kashmalam Ashuchi Vishayakataya Ashuchi. And then Ataeva Dukkha Karanam. Kashmalam is what? Ashuchi. It is not Suchi, it is not pure. This body, mind, sense complex is impure. Kashmalam Ashuchi Vishayakataya Ashuchi. Since they lead to these, they are dealing with the subject matter which itself is impure. Therefore, this Anatma is impure. The thinking about that is also impure. Ataeva Dukkha Karanam. And thereby they lead to Dukkha. Because nobody wants this impurity. We take bath because we feel impure. We feel the Sharira is impure. We feel fresh only when it is washed. The Sharira is washed of all the impurities. So that you don't take a bath, you feel very uncomfortable. This is an Upalakshana. This is just an example. But all that which brings sorrow is impurity. Anatma Chintanam Tyaktva Yat Mukti Karanam Atyantika Dukkha Nivritti Hetuhu. Mukti Karana is going away from this Dukkha Karana and staying with Swarupananda, Sukha. Thereby, Tam Ananda Rupam Atmanam Chintaya. You inquire into and stay with that. This is the refrain there. This was 380th. 381st shloka is introduced by Bhagavan Vyakhanakara by saying Chintana Prakaram Upadishati. Okay, you are saying Chintaye, how should this Chintana be? Eshaiti. Through the next shloka, he teaches how to do this Chintana. Dhyam Yachcha Buddhi Sakshini Ityasya Arthamaha. And which was mentioned in the 70th shloka. It is elaborated here. What is the meaning as Dhyam Yacha Cha Buddhi Sakshini? That is elaborated here in 381. So this is a different view. Just give me a moment. It's been long, so I have to think back on how this goes. Esha Swayam Jyotirashesha Sakshi Vijnanakoche Vilasatyajasram Laksham Vidhayai Namasadvilakshanam Akhanda Vrityatmatayanubhavaya. So Esha Swayam Jyotihi. Let me check if there is a typo here. Okay, no, okay. Esha Swayam Jyotihi Ashesha Sakshi. Swayam Jyotihi, it is self-effulgent. This Atma, Brahmatma is Swayam Jyotihi, meaning it does not have any dependency on anything for its consciousness or its effulgence. Whereas everything has dependency on this Satta and Spurti of Atma. Ashesha Sakshi, and it's a witness of everything. There is nothing that it does not witness. Shruti says, Alupta Druk. Never stop seeing. Never stop seeing as long as there is something to see. And seeing is Upalakshana. It is a witness basically. Sakshi, ever a Sakshi, never a participant. Never a subject really. Vijnana Koshe Vilasati Ajasram. Vijnana Koshe Vilasati Ajasram. Then Vijnana Kosha. Vijnana Kosha is that which is the closest. Buddhi is the closest to the Atma. And it shines forth, reflects in this Vijnana Kosha and thereby there is ahankara as I am this individual. That individuality is due to this. And ajasram, not once in a while, ever shines forth. As long as a person is a jiva, he is jiva because of this pratibimba. This pratibimba is jiva. He associates with the pratibimba which ever shines forth in the Vijnanamaya Kosha. Laksham vidaya enam asadvilakshanam. Asadvilakshanam and akhanda vritya atmataya anubhavaya. Anubhavaya, atmataya anubhavaya. Akhanda vritya. We saw that through the akhandakara vritti you land on the tattva, and thereby there is atma anubhava, which is the aparoksha jnana. Laksham vidhaya enam asadvilakshanam. This Lakshya Brahmani which was said earlier, what is that Lakshya Brahma? It is aiming for that Lakshya Brahma. How do you aim for that Lakshya Brahma? Because Chintana Prakaram Upadishati. What is the Chintana Prakara? Don't hold on to the Vachyartha, go to the Lakshyartha, and that Lakshya, having targeted that Lakshya, Vidhaya, Enam Asad Vilakshanam. And what is that? Not elsewhere. It is inward, it is within, it is the Pratyagatma, which is Asad Vilakshana. It is different from this Asad. This Vijnanamaya Kosha Ityadi are all Asat. Having withdrawn from that, you have to target to land onto your own Tattva, which is Lakshya Brahma, which is the implied meaning of Ishvara. The implied meaning of Ishvara is the Pratyagatma, which is you. It is Satchidananda Atma, which is not different anywhere. It is the same everywhere. It is all pervasive, a singular, undivided, homogeneous Tattva, Ekameva Dvitiyam. That is Lakshya Brahma, and it is Enam. It is not elsewhere. It is this. Enam is the closest here, and closest meaning there is no difference. It is me. It is me. Esha Atma Swayam Jyotihi Itara Aprakashyaha, which is not lit up by anyone else. It is my own Swarupa. This Atma is Swayam Jyoti. Ashesha Sakshi means Sarvadrashta. She is everything without anything left out. And seeing is figurative there. Vijnana Koshe Buddha Vilasati Asheshena Bhasate. Bhasate. Asheshena Buddha Vilasati. Vijnana Koshe Vilasati means Buddha Asheshena Bhasate. In the Buddhi it shines forth, always shines forth in the buddhi as aham, 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 which makes everything possible. Without aham being there, there cannot be tvam, or there cannot be tat, there cannot be anything else other than, there cannot be a you unless I am there. I have to be there to differentiate you from me. I have to be there to differentiate someone else from me. So the differentiator who objectifies everyone and everything, that is me. And that has to shine forth first, therefore it is ever shining. Asad vilakshanam sarvavasthas swanuvartamanatvena swayam jyotistvena sarvasakshitaya cha jadadrushya buddhyadi vilakshanam. Enam, this Atma is what? What am I really? I am, or who am I really? Asad vilakshana. I am different from the objectified Vishayas which are mithya. Sarvasthas swanuvartamanatvena, one who is there in each and every avastha. In each avastha, Jagrata, Swapna, Sushupti also I am there. In all the ashramas I am there. In Balyadishu Ityadi, as Dakshinamurti Stotra says. Sarvavastha swanuvartamanatvena swayam jyotistvena, and as one who lends satta to all avasthas, all the entire prapancha including the sharira, sarva sakshitaya, and as a witness in all avasthas, to all kriyas, in everything I am the witness. Therefore through all of this jadadrushya buddhyadi vilakshanam, I am separate from jada. Dridrishya viveka is being taught. Whatever is seen is not me. Like this table is seen is not me, the sharira is seen, it is not me, the emotions are objectified, they are not me. That individuality is objectified, that is also not me. Enam ajasram, continuously. Laksham vidhaya tatrayo manah stapayitva. Laksham vidhaya means what? Having targeted that, placing the mind into that, so that it resolves within that. Stapayatva akhanda vrittya, through this akhandakara vritti where all the differences have been dropped, and then Brahmatma, Ishvara and Jiva Aikya lands into one Brahmatma Tattva. Itara pratyaya amishraya, without any other pratyaya, just holding on to this Mahavakya and its artha, dharavahikya, continuously it should be a series of analysis. Wherever the mind goes, it has to be brought back onto this analysis, manana, and we have to let go everything as Brahma, as Mithya, and thereby land on Brahmatma Tattva. Atmataya Swaswarupataya Anubhavaya means Sakshat Kuru. Have Sakshatkara through this process as holding on to this Brahma as oneself, Atmataya Swaswarupataya as one's own Swarupa, and not getting diverted anymore. So Vairagya is there, withdraw from the Prapancha and stay in this Atma Tattva continuously. This is the idea of Nididhyasa, which may or may not lead to Samadhi, but then we do what has to be done, practice Manana, which will culminate in Samadhi in time through Nididhyasana. This is the 381st shloka. We'll look at the next in the next partha. Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Tamagocharam Govindam Paramanandam Sadgurum Pranatosmiham. Om Tat Sat. Any questions? So I'll see you in the next partha tomorrow. Namaste.